What's going on, guys? PC here, and welcome to another episode of Answer This. In this episode, we'll be talking about good games with bad graphics. Now, if you're a retro gamer, you most likely agree that graphics do not make the game. There are a lot of games out there that are a ton of fun to play, but they just don't measure up in the visuals department. And let me explain a little bit about what I mean by bad graphics. Now, obviously, if you take any retro game and compare it to a modern game, they're gonna pale in comparison. But I'm talking about games that, compared to other games on that same system or other games of the time, it really didn't look that great. And that's what I'm going for here. I'm trying to find games that are just not that great looking for the time they came out, but were a lot of fun to play. And I have a few games here that meet that criteria. First one of those games is Baseball on the NES. This is one of the first games that came out for the system, which is most likely why the graphics aren't so great, but it's a lot of fun to play. It's one of the games that I played a lot as a kid. It's probably one of my most played games on the NES. I had a lot of fun with this. It's a very simplistic game in the gameplay department and the graphics department. It's not that great visually compared to other baseball games on the system. It's very simplistic. There are tons of baseball games on the NES that look much better than this one, but it's still a solid baseball game and a lot of fun to play, and definitely one I have a lot of fun with. Good game, not so great graphics. So next up is a Dreamcast game. This one is Test Drive 6. This is a racing game that it was ported from the PS1, so the mediocre graphics are kind of expected. They really didn't do a whole lot to bump up the visuals for the Dreamcast, but this game is a game that falls short in a lot of areas. It's the best way to describe this game would probably be, you ever hear of a movie that's really bad? It's so bad that it's good. This is probably the video game equivalent of that. It's not that great a game, but for some reason I have a lot of fun playing it, and there are a couple reasons for that. One is the AI, and now you'd think this was a negative, but the AI in this game is so bad. Especially the police in this game, and it's funny because they tout the police as working together to stop you, and they're supposed to be really smart apparently, but they're lucky if they can stay on the road. Literally, the police in this act like they're driving drunk. They're all over the place. It's hilarious, and I think that's one of the reasons why I think this game is so much fun, because it's just so funny. And combine that with the physics in this game, they're unbelievably crazy. Cars crash into each other, they have these pile-ups, they go flying. It's so funny. That's probably why I like playing this so much. It's a mediocre game. It has mediocre graphics, but I don't know, I enjoy playing it, and so it's on this list. So the final game I want to show you is for the Sega Saturn, and that is the Horde. The Horde is kind of a tower defense type of game where you're protecting a town from hordelings, which are kind of goblin-like creatures that are trying to destroy the town and the farms and all these civilians that are in the town. And you're trying to protect the town by laying out different traps, like spike traps, flamethrowers, and a bunch of other different things around the town to try and prevent the Horde from getting in. And you can also control the main character, Chauncey, with it, and you have a sword, and you can kill the goblins that way as well. But it's a lot of fun to play. Definitely recommend checking this one out if you're into tower defense games. But this is a game that definitely does not measure up in the visual department. And that's kind of expected because this game originally came out on DOS. And it's not surprising because the game does look like a DOS game. It's very simplistic. Even the main character in the game, Chauncey, kind of looks like a stick figure. I mean, maybe not that bad, but it's a very simple looking game. It's definitely nothing eye-popping. And there you have it. A few good games with not so great graphics. Now, if you guys have any games that meet this criteria, any games you enjoy playing that just aren't that great looking, let me know in the comments down below, or do a video response if you'd like to do that as well. But anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to comment, rate, and subscribe, and thanks for watching.